Alrighty, well, I'm doing some cleanup on these, and there was some pretty nasty stuff inside. We got that pretty well cleaned out. I should have done a before picture, but I didn't. And this one's the same. That's all cleaned up inside. Got all the grease, most of the grease off the outside, and oil and whatever else there was on there. This little piece here has the clutch actuator on it, which is comprised of this guy right here and this guy right here, which I had to fix because it was broken in half. And it just so happens there was a pocket here. So I filled it with JB Weld, and we'll just hope it holds. First thing I did was I put the two pieces together with some super glue gel. And I let that sit overnight, and then I came down the next day and I filled this with JB Weld. And then I let that sit for 24 hours before I did anything with it. This is the return spring. It's still got a little rust on it, so we'll throw that in the de-ruster stuff. This goes down into here, and there's an O-ring on it to seal from the oil getting back out. And we cleaned all this up. There was a little rust on it. This goes on the end of this, and one end of the spring down here, it's got two ends on it. One end goes, I don't know if you can see it down in there. There's a hole over there on the left side. One end of that spring goes down in there. Then the end with the rubber on it sticks up, and it goes in the hole on there. You see that? Like that. So, and it's around, this goes through it. All right. So, well, we're all cleaned up and ready to go back together on this end, on that. I've got some things that are cooking in some vinegar right now that were pretty rusty, the clutch, and I put that over here, and this vinegar I don't think is doing very good. The problem was my my Evapo Rust is out in the garage and it froze. So I put a tank heater in it, and hopefully that'll thaw it out, and hopefully freezing it doesn't cause harm to it, because I would like to throw these parts, the clutch parts, and the drive gear. The bearings got to come off. I've got new bearings on order. These two clips, one goes down here and one goes up above to hold this onto the shaft. All right. That's more for my own benefit, but I'll probably put it in a video. All right, here they are going into the bucket of Evapo Rust. Let's check back in a couple of days and see how good they are. Well, here they are. Here it is. The brand new crankshaft with piston rod. And here's the old one. And it's got a few things on it that I need to switch over. First of all, what we have here, a bearing, and what's funny is it's got this ring around it, and I don't think any of the new bearings that I've got have got a groove in them, but let's see. Well, this one does. So this is the right bearing for that. So this bearing goes here. What I'll probably do is go get my heat gun and heat this up. But underneath that bearing, there is an oil seal. So I'm going to have to, first I'm going to have to pull this gear off, and it's held in place by, let's see if we can do it. It kind of moves on the shaft, so it might not be too bad. All right, we found a couple more. This one can go either way, it's bisexual. This one is already set up to spread them. So all we got to do is get the pins in the holes and then spread them out and pull it off. And we did that. All right. This now, of course, won't come off easily, will it? Oh, we have a key in there. So let's see if we can get that out. There it is. Let's see now. There's a, must be some kind of a ridge or something built up there. Let's see if there's anything else. I think not. Let's see if we can put a little pressure on it. It came out quite a ways, and there it is. There's that. This side will be out. Then we have what looks like a very tight washer on there. I don't see any brakes in it, so I don't think it's a clip of any kind. So let's use I think that has an inner and an outer side. I think it will, either way will work. So we'll put that right here on top of that. Then, what we need to do is go get a bearing puller. Oh, I don't need to take this off. No, I don't. That's all I need to take off. Because I have a new bearing and hopefully a new oil seal. So, I got arthritis in my hands, and so we're talking over here that this goes on, if this is the right one. You know what I forgot to bring up? Some oil. But that's the oil seal that goes in there. And I'm also going to need some heat. So, because I want to heat this bearing up, at least the center of it, and hopefully it'll just slip right on there. So this bearing, I would like to see, make sure which direction that oil seal is, but I'm pretty sure the open side will go in. There's an open side, as you can see here. Well, here, let me give you a little more light. Yeah, there. An open side and a closed side. And this has the size of the seal written on the side, and it's a 22 ID, 40 OD, and 7 width. It says that right on there. All right. So let me go get some oil and some heat, and we'll be back. So this, we're just going to heat it up, but we want to get this on first. This is the oil seal, and we're just going to put a couple of drops on the inside. This is just 2-stroke oil. And we'll see if that'll go on. Yes, it will. Okay. Now, let's see what that does. Well, either I didn't get it hot enough, or I need a socket that I can drive on there. All right, let's see if we can push that down. Almost, not quite. Alrighty, this piece fell off the my cutting board. So I'd be very surprised if that wasn't all the way down. And it is. Okay, so we got a new oil seal, we got a new bearing, we got a new crank, we got a new piston rod. Inside on the piston rod is a new small end bearing. And we're going to put this clip back where it belongs. If I can get the that goes in there. Don't want to let go. Is it in the groove? Nope. Not all the way. All right. After that comes this. And after that comes alrighty, folks. We got this, they call it a clutch bell. I don't know if it rings like a bell or not. It's close. Anyway, this gear is supposed to be permanently affixed inside here. And what they did was they took a little small cold chisel, and once they had this gear inserted in the hole, which it goes in hard, I was concerned that possibly it was the shaft part that goes through the hole was worn, but apparently it's not. So I think what we'll be able to do is provide a little persuasion here, and all right, what I'm going to do is put this on, and there's the spacer that goes on the end of that. I do not know how that got, that's crooked. All right, well, I have a concern about that might work right there. Let's see. That seems to be even and all the way through, and I don't know if it's going to come out or not. And I don't have a small headed, just maybe a 1/4 inch long chisel. The blade a 1/4 inch wide. And I'm afraid that anything bigger than that's going to be too much. All right, we're going to put that aside for now. This is over here. Let's get it in where we can view it. The new crank. And guess what I did? I put the oil seal on, assuming from all my Yamaha work that the open side of the seal goes in and the readable side is out. But I had opportunity to see a YouTube video by a fellow that I think must be an expert because he knows a lot more than I do. He's an expert to me anyway. And he said that the open side of the seal is towards the outside. So we're going to try and see if we can't do that now. Alright, let's get this out of the way. I'm going to be using that again. Okay, our oil seal. Open side, out. Alright, to get that bearing back in there a little easier, I'm going to go over here and throw it in my air fryer at 350 degrees for about 25 or 30 minutes. Alright, well, heating it with the oven didn't seem to make a lot of difference, but I guess it made some. We got it on in place, and that pesky little circlip is back where it belongs now. Alright, so that takes care of that side, and I'm sure that's still pretty hot. And on the other side, we take a look at the old one, and it has a bearing on there. There's no oil seal on that side. That bearing doesn't turn. Alrighty, the writing is on this side. Let's see if it goes on there. It gets a little tight when we get down here, but I think probably we can get that to go on. Let's see, where's it here? Yeah, it's right up against there. There's a little bit of a ridge around the shaft right down there. And that's to hold this bearing off just a shade so the oil and everything can circulate. All right. So, do we just throw it up here? Put this on it and drive it down, or should we heat it up first? I think I'll just put it on. All right. Do not grab that other bearing. It may go just a little bit further. Not a lot. That's in. I could tell from the sound. All right. Looks exactly the same as that. Let's go get our calipers and measure a couple of distances. All right. If we measure the distance, set this to 0, between the outside of the bearings, 67.65. $67.78. All right, I'm going to have to try and get those in just a little bit. Point 0.1 millimeter. If they'll go down that much further, I don't think so, but let us see what we can do. All right. I'm going to give it a couple of whacks like that on both sides. See if I can pick up that 0.1 millimeter. No, I can't pick up that 0.1 millimeter. I don't know if maybe the bearings are just a shade thicker or what. Of course, the other ones we've had, let's see, 78, 22, 47 years to shrink down, I guess, so maybe we're okay. We'll know better once we try to put it in the case. Now, the next thing we need to do is, there's two bearings on here, and they are no good either. This one doesn't turn at all. So, let's see if we can read the size on these. At least the model number of them. Put that back where it belongs. I'm going to take this out, and what I'm going to use is a center punch. And I'm going to go around and hit the case on, well, I'll show you where. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around here where this is coming through, where this gear shaft is coming through, and I'm going to hit on the outside of it with a center punch, and that should lock it into place there. At least that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so let us remove a clip here. These things are my nemesis. This clip holds the new sprocket on once I get that up there. Everything else should just come right off. Well, what a revolting development this is. Those bearings that I ordered haven't come yet. So, they are scheduled to arrive on Thursday, but today is Tuesday. So, we have a wait. And I guess I'll go ahead and pull this other bearing off if I can. It sure did. All right, this would be the bottom. This would set in like this. But it doesn't. That's off more than a 0.1. Wait. That's wrong. You dummy, Jack. All right. Perfect. Look at that. All right. So, then this will be the unit that goes down in here, and the gear, this gear, when you put this on, will make contact with this, and then the sprocket is here. So, until we get the new bearings, we're kind of at a standstill.